Hello and welcome to this week's predictions, Astro Tarot Predictions. Yeah, thank you for being here. I am your humble host, Zakariya Adeel, and I went live a little bit too early then. I was going to get the cards out already, but they're ready. I was using them before. They're nice and shuffled. So let's just go into it. Hope you guys have had a good week. Let's start with Aries. Okay, so for Aries, we've got the today we're using the Archangel Power tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. So the first card I've got is the Nine of Gabriel, which is the Nine of Wands, followed by the Queen of Ariel, which is the Queen of Pentacles, and the number 14th of the Major Arcana, which here they call it Solutions, but in the Major Arcana in the Rider-Waite pack, it's the Temperance card. Okay, so and this is for Aries. So what's happening here is the wall is up. Aries is defending themselves in the recent past, in the recent history here. So they're sort of defending themselves, defending their position, defending where they stand for, what's happened in the recent past. Once we move along from there, we get to a point where we have to start taking care of ourselves, our needs, our health, our eating, our exercise. We've got to make sure that we're looking after our needs. We nurture ourselves first, then we nurture everybody else, which is the mode of the Earth Mother. What does it say on here? It says, nurture yourself, those you love, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical and wise advice. This card is also to do with properties and property investments and making a property more beautiful as well. So if you well, this is specific to Aries anyway. And then the outcome we got here is the Temperance card, Solutions. So now this is about everything in moderation. It's got one foot in the spiritual waters, one foot out. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're not being extreme in any which way, and that you strike a healthy balance. What does it say on here? It says success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. This card is also one of the cards of alchemy as well. So towards the end of the week for Aries people, go for it. I mean, like, really, like, if you feel like if you're doing something where you kind of like making things happen, wait to the end of the week and do it then. Like, don't be in any rush to sort of hurry to do it, because you can make big things happen towards the end of the week. The energies are better for you then rather than the beginning. Okay, let's move on to Taurus. Excuse me. Having a sneaky yawn there. Excuse me. Let's just do this. All right, Taurus. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Gabriel, which is the Ace of Wands, the 13 Peace card, which is the Death card in the West in the Rider-Waite Tarot, and the Magician, which is the Magician. All right. Right. So this is for Taurus. Now, what's happening here is all aces are about new beginnings. So when we've got the Ace of Wands here, the Ace of Gabriel, it's about the Gabriel of the Wands is a suit of fire, so it's about action, activity, all that sorts of stuff. So here it says a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration, the chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. The Ace of Wands card is about like a new enterprise, a new business sometimes, and it's about somebody lit the fire under your butt and you're like doing it now, you're getting things moving. As that happens, don't be afraid to see people's like true colors. Like, what's going to happen is people who you expected to be there for you might not be, and other people who you didn't expect to be there might be there for you. So what's happening is that your social group might be sort of rejigging itself around a bit. So don't be afraid to say goodbye to people who had an important place in your life before, and now they're sort of becoming relegating in the league. They're not like the top players anymore. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to say goodbye to them forever, but just recognize that there are more important players in your life right now than they were previously. And but similar to you as well as Aries, towards the end of the week is going to be more. Is going to be a good time to sort of take action. Um, the Magician card is another card of alchemy. Well, previously we had the Temperance card, which is one of the cards of alchemy. This is another one. You're in manifestation mode towards the end of the week, so that's the time where you want to take action. It might just be that at that time, towards the end of the week, it's just a better time for everybody to take action. Sometimes that happens. It's like tide comes in, tide goes out. You don't want to go swimming against the tide. So just sometimes when the tide is going out, it's better for everybody to swim out. So yeah, have a good week, Taurus. Let's move on to Gemini. Okay, we've got the Six of Ariel, Six of Pentacles, King of Michael, King of Swords, the Military King. We have the Ace of Ariel, the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so this bodes very well for those people who are looking to change job. It's possible in the recent past, they've been doing a lot of meditation. They've been doing a lot of spiritual work to lay the ground, make sure that the ground is fertile for them to actually move on to something that is more profitable for themselves, and that's what the Six of Ariel is about. So it's also the card of charity and giving back to people who are who you want to help, you want to contribute to. So that's really positive, laying the ground, because especially considering we've got the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Ariel card at the end there. But what may happen in the midpoint though is you need to really, as you've done the spiritual work, then you have to do the work of actually. It's like imagine this is the affirmational stage. This is the visualization stage. This is the stage where you got to do the work, or you got to do the applications. You've got to do all of the hard work to actually make sure that you're in the game for to be seen. I hope that makes sense. But this is where you do all the hard work. This is the strategic king, the one that does everything, the one that thinks about what is the shortest route for me to get from where I am to where I want to be. So now this is where the hard work takes place, right? So what does it say here? Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity. A situation that calls for honest and open communication, right? So if there is work-wise for you, be honest about your CV. Okay, and ultimately the outcome is a new job that suits you, that suits who you are now, as opposed to who you were previously. We're always changing. We're always in a state of flux all the time. So and it will suit you. And for those Geminis that aren't necessarily looking for a new job, what this spread. Look at the spread of what I've said in symbolically and see if it relates to your situation. But again, towards the end of the week, though, it's a fantastic time to make big changes to improve your current career and your current work situation. And also, this is a very good money card, so it could just mean a bit of money comes in for you towards the end of the week. So it's kind of a lucky week for you. Thank you, Gemini. Let's move on to Cancer. Okay, so for the first card we've got for Cancer is the Magician card. We've got the Eight of Michael, the Eight of Swords, and we have the Emperor. Okay, right. So the Magician card is it's already come up today. The Magician card is the manifester. It's the one that's able to create magic and the things that you want into your life relatively easily, because it has all the abilities and all of the things that they require. Normally in the Rider-Waite pack, you see each of the four suits symbols on the table. So the wands, the cups, the sword, and the pentacles. On the table, symbolic of the four elements. You use the four elements in conjunction, and you're able to create what it is that you need, right? So in the recent past, the Magician card has fallen for you, and so what that means is that you've set yourself up in a certain way, but that thing that you've set up for yourself, you're now beginning to feel quite restricted by it. So this could be a job, this could be a relationship, it could be whatever it is that you're looking at. So if you feel restricted by it, realize this is of your own doing. So although you've got the blindfold on and your arms are tied, well, not in this image actually, but in the Ride Away image, there's a sense that you're restricted, right? But it's self-imposed. So you can remove the blindfold, you can remove the ropes that are tying your hands together. Maybe not immediately, but your feet are free. So what you can do is you can run to somebody else to get help. And if you're prepared to ask for that help, because they don't always, Cancerians like to handle things by themselves. But there are people out there who can help you, who will help you. And when you go to them, they will help you to remove the blindfold and remove the ropes that tie your arms, that bind your arms. And when that happens, then you are able to see things more clearly and able to take greater action from a place where you have more options. Okay. What does it say on here? It said you can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation, and not seeing things clearly. You see. The other big message for you, right, is with the Emperor card is boundaries. You need to have more boundaries, because if somebody breaches one of your boundaries, you can't just stay quiet, because if you do, you're opening the door to allow them to break more of them, So what does it say? Stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation and ambitious plans. Well, that's what the Emperor does. So, towards the end of the week, take charge of the situation and be very conscious of what your boundaries are, and don't let anybody overstep them. All right. Let's move on to Leo. Hi, Sana. Just saw a sun of sunshines here. Right. This is for Leo. Okay. The Nine of Gabriel, which is the Nine of Wands. 10 of Gabriel, the 10 of Wands. And also the 8 of Ariel, which is the 8 of Pentacles. Right. So with the Nine of Gabriel, this is a card of like a wall going up, and somebody who's holding firm and standing firm with their in their opinion, whether rightly or whether wrongly. They could be right, they could be wrong, but they're standing firm with what they believe. And something may have happened to trigger that. So the wall has gone up, and it's like a reaction now. So and Leos are aware that they have that ability, that sometimes this happens. Sometimes what happens is the wall goes up and they don't care what has happened before, who's right, who's wrong, but they've just been pushed too far. And they're like, you know what? No, I don't care anymore. The thing is, because this is the Nine of Gabriel and this is the 10 of Gabriel, it's literally the next step along. So from here, if nothing gets done to resolve this situation here, it just goes to this one. And this one is basically when you're carrying too many burdens all by yourself, and there's nobody there to sort of, there are people there to help you, but you're not asking for that help. So this is when this card comes, it's like delegate, ask people for help. Say to people, look, I'm doing this. This is my role. This is what I do, and you need to do this. And so this is because this is what your role is in terms of work or whatever. People have contracts. But when you start picking up for other people, and you just sort of do what's outside of your role, people will expect you to do that again and more. And that's what leads to this situation where you're carrying more than you can handle, and you're burdened by things that aren't your issue. So this is kind of what's happening, right? You've got this one, then you've got this one. And unless you sort of say no, and you say, back off, and you also ideally you want to handle this when you're not triggered. So if you do get triggered, then don't sort of try to handle this at that time. Get some distance first and then handle it. But in terms of taking on more than you can handle, step back from that, and highlight to people whose role it is and what they should be doing in the nicest possible way. And don't do it if you have been triggered. Take some time and then come back to it. In addition to all this, though, look, we've got the card of studying as well, and improving your craft. So this is something that you're getting better at. There's also something else out there. There's also this period of learning for you as well. So if this is in a work context or a personal context, whatever is happening, there's also something new on the horizon for you. So you might be thinking about studying something or looking into something new that you want to do as just for yourself, for your own self-development, self-improvement. So, and this could be the light that helps shift the energy away from this other stuff that's happening. Yeah. Okay. So let that energy take hold. Right. Let's move on. We're going to have a look at what's happening for Virgo now. Oh, got a whole batch of cards that jumped out. Let's see what this is about. All right, we've got the Chariot, which we've got the Five of Ariel, Five of Pentacles, and we have the Emperor card. All right, let me just see if there's anything else that wants to come out for Virgo. Yeah, we also have the Five of Michael. And this is one of the narcissist cards, one of the four. So I feel like there's somebody causing a bit of trouble for Virgos this week. Bit of a naughty person, let's say. Right. So Virgo has recently been taking a lot of charge of the situation. They've been handling lots of little bits and pieces that have just been outstanding for a while. They've been getting rid of all of those, clearing them, decluttering, doing all this stuff that makes their mind sort of crystal clear. Because when they do that, they feel so much better for themselves, right? Within themselves. So as they got momentum going, there's things that have been happening that have caused a bit of a halt to that outside people, or it could just be a certain event that happened that made them think, or not even think, but made them sort of channel all of their energy in the direction to handle that and not take care of themselves again. The five of Ariel is a card of like financial issues and self-neglect. Okay, what does it say here? It says you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. Well, yeah. So what it's done is possible that it's this person, or it's just this something that's happened that's sent them into a like a positive, possibly like a negative spiral. It's temporary. It's only temporary. And as they sort of protect their environment from these toxic energies, such as this energy, what happens is they begin to sort of mull in their own juices, and their own juices are actually quite positive, believe it or not. So what happens is as they do that, they begin to rejuvenate their energy, and hence why there's the Emperor, who protects his own empire, needs to protect his own empire. So that's why I'm saying they need to do that, and they need to protect their own borders. Again, this card came up for another sign as well. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. When the Emperor card comes up, it's all about boundaries. Protect yourself from toxic energies and tell them to step away if need be. And if they need to hear that harshly, let it be harsh. All right, so that was for Virgo. Let's move on to Libra. So now we're almost at Scorpio. You just have to wait till we get there. Okay, Libra. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay. So Libra, we've got the Eight of Gabriel, Eight of Wands, the Three of Gabriel, Three of Wands, and we've got the Seven of Gabriel, the Seven of Wands. Right. So this is quite straightforward, really. There's been some synchronistic events the eight of wands, the eight of Gabriel, is the card of speed and synchronicity, right? So there's been some synchronistic events in the recent past that have transpired, which have been positive for you, and sometimes it comes through a message or communication, email or something, positive information that's sort of giving you what you were wanting and what you were expecting almost. But now there's a period of waiting before those things really sit into place, sort of fall into place. And oftentimes it's about work, business oftentimes, and then also you have to there's still work to be done. Like even if you put it into place and you have to wait, there's still this a period of time before it comes, and then within that time period you need to fight for your position and fight for your role and fight for your piece of the pie almost. All right, so don't be afraid to do that. It's not just done, like you've set it forth and it's done. No, you still need to fight for that piece. So I get a sense that this could be sales or sales oriented or something like that. Although I don't really think of Libra people as salespeople. It's not really a salesy sign. I think of Aries as a bit salesy. But anyway, this is what's come up. Stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, and claim your personal power. That seems to be the message here. All right, now let's move on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, we've got the Two of Michael, Two of Swords, the Two of Ariel, which is the Two of Pentacles, and the Lover's card. So we've got two twos at the beginning here. So the first card here is about a dilemma. It's like you've got two options. Which one are you going to choose? And what I've observed about this card is that it doesn't even matter. So the law of attraction is, your vibrations at a certain point. So when you have these two options in front of you, it doesn't even matter so much which option you take, because actually it will lead you back to the same place. What matters more is that you shift your vibration so that the options that you have available to you are really options that you want, either of them, because it doesn't really matter. If you've set forth a certain intention and you've done the spiritual work as well to sort of create that for yourself, then it doesn't matter which road you take. It's going to take you to a positive place. But if you haven't done that work, both of those roads are not going to be particularly great. You know what I mean? So think about that. Think about what spiritual work is still required of you. So what happens, that takes you to this card here, which is the Two of Pentacles. Although work is fun, it's just money comes in, money goes out. So it's a case of just sort of getting through it. With this card, there's also, you relegate the emotional issues that need to be dealt with, and you just sort of deal with the day-to-day, right? So there's also that to take note of. And if you want your manifestations to be that much more powerful, then do the spiritual work beforehand. You may have done that actually, because it's just a case of like, this is what you set forth. But we've got the powerful major arcana card of the Lovers. So this has two interpretations. One is actually romantic love, but the other one is about healing, self-healing, raising your own self-worth within yourself. Well, I'm not great with my words today, I'm afraid, so do forgive me, but raising your own level of self-love. And you do that through healing activities, therapy, that sort of stuff. And once you get to a point where you're at a certain level, then you can attract healthy romantic love into your life. And I feel like some of the work that you've done historically is going to bear some fruit this week, towards the end of the week. So this is really positive. Let's move on to Sagittarius. As I'm doing this, I'm keeping an eye on some of the messages, and thank you so much, guys, for what you're saying. Billy Goat, I know I did a reading for you. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. I really appreciate it. Let's move on to Sagittarius. Right. Sagittarius, we've got the Three of Gabriel, Three of Wands. We've got the Queen of Gabriel, the Queen of Wands. And we've got the 13th Major Arcana card, which is the card of death in the Rider-Waite. In this pack, it's the Peace card. All right, so with the three of Wands, what we have is you've set out the your fleet goes out and it's going to be sold. The product's going to be sold, and you have to wait before the money comes back into you. So I feel like you've let's imagine that you're applying for a job. So you've sent out all of the applications, the CVs, the emails. You've sent all that stuff out, and you're waiting to hear what's going to happen. And it's the same thing. Try and relate this symbolically to your personal situation, you other Sagittarians. And so what then has to happen is a period of networking. So if you're applying for a job, for example, this will be the interview stage. But if it's not, if you're like a seller, for example, then imagine this is the networking phase where you're going up to people, you're getting to know them, you're charming them, you're getting them round to your side. And that's what's happening now-ish, right? And this is possibly quite a big thing for some of the Sagittarians out there, because we've got the death card as the overall outcome card. This job could be a big deal. So you could have been working on this for a while to get to this level, and whatever this is, like however this relates to you Sagittarius. But I'm just using the job analogy here. But this transformation could be quite big in your life, because there's a lot of things that are going to fall away, and is going to create a new base for you, a new foundation for you. And so this is quite powerful. What does it say here? It says, release the past. There is a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. And that enriching future could be quite big for you. Things that you've wanted for a while could be on the way. So that's very positive. Let's move to Capricorn. Right, let's see what's come up for Capricorn. Okay, we've got the Star card, Five of Michael, Five of Swords, and we've got the Eight of Gabriel, which is the Eight of Wands. Okay, so with the Star card comes a lot has shifted on the internal landscape. It's just not showing yet on the external. So it shows that you have been doing some internal work, the spiritual work, to heal some of the traumas that you've had, maybe from childhood, or maybe from just younger life. We've got one of the narcissist cards here. So this is the pure narcissist card. So it could be the fact that things are shifting in that landscape. So like sometimes this sort of setup comes when you're in a narcissistic relationship, and you've just seen it and recognized it for what it is, and then you're having to you've developed all of the knowledge around this, and then you've got to now put it into practice. Okay. And that's the hard part, because that's when you're fighting the monolith, right? That's when you're fighting that big monster. You're slaying the dragon. And that could be where you're at right now, Capricorn. You're slaying your dragon, whatever that is for you. But don't worry, this help is on the way. Because of the way that you've set this up, this card has just come up for one of the signs as well, the card of speed and synchronicity. Help is on the way. People are going to come to your aid. There's going to be lucky coincidences as well. So there's going to be these things that are going to happen that are going to really help you out on this little journey. So slay that dragon, slay it, and your friend's going to come and help you slay it as well. So it's all good. All right, let's move on to Aquarius. I've just seen Cindy's here as well. Hello, Cindy. Hope you're well. Right, Aquarius. Right, we've got the 13 Peace card, the Death card. We've got the Three of Raphael, the Three of Cups, and we've got the Three of Michael, which is Three of Swords. All right. So now this is so with the Death card at the start, what it's showing is that your life has already shifted in many ways, and over the last few years in particular, it's been a case of get used to all these changes, get used to change, because things have changed. Let's just say in the last 5 years, so much has changed, so much has shifted. Obviously, COVID hasn't helped, but for you, there's been such a fast track set of changes, and it would be hard for anybody to keep up. But because you've had to deal with so much, you've kind of gotten used to it, which is no bad thing, because now if something happens and it's something that would throw somebody else off, you're just like, it's just another day's work for me, water off a duck's back, as they say. And so you can just sort of carry on, and you have been carrying on. This is a very positive card, especially if you're a creative person. This could suggest success in the arts, but also a celebration of sorts. So that's going to be fun. That's a celebration coming up for you. It's probably at some point during this week. And it's just saying, reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements, especially regarding relationships or children. So this is a very positive, fun time that you're going to have during this week. So that's really good. So just go out there and enjoy that. But if you sometimes when it comes to relationships, I'm just looking at the spread as a whole. This one, and then the three of Michael, Three of Swords at the end. So this card at the end now, this is with a heavy heart you must carry on. This is not a comfortable card. So this sometimes can come when there's grief, or there's a loss or something like that, or some sort of pain hits you, and you don't have time to really process it, because you got to stay busy. So you continue going, and the processing will come. Sometimes with this card, the processing comes whilst you're living, and sometimes there's not an actual stop to process. It just sort of happens on the way, on the journey. Does that mean that it doesn't get processed properly? Maybe, but such is life. If you choose to deal with it separately, then you can do that, and it's probably healthy to do that. But this is just a quick reading about this week, so there may be something at the end of the week that hurts your heart a little bit, but look, ever the resilient Aquarian, you'll get over it. And just put another card for a bit more information on this. So there's not much you can do. You have to accept the circumstances and just let the universe shift you out of this experience when it's time. Okay. So, but you'll be fine. You always are. You're a tough one. Let's move to Pisces. I'm looking at Cindy's messages. You joker. All right, Pisces. Okay. So we have the Nine of Raphael, which is the Nine of Cups. We've got the Magician card, and we've got the Six of Michael, which is the Six of Swords. So, there's some good things and some complicated things this week for Pisces. This is the card of contentment. So there's some good things that have already worked and that you've already put some work into previously, and things are good. Like, this is a card of contentment. There's a sense that something's not quite right, something's missing, but things are okay. Things in the recent past, things are okay. You also have the power that's been given to you by the Magician card, so you're able to make things happen quite quickly and quite fruitfully. People around you, bosses, whatever, they're looking at you, that they think, wow, this person, they're amazing, and that further spurs you on to continue to do your work. But there is some sort of cutting off from somebody or something that you've loved for a while. This is a separation from something, and it's just you're traversing from one set of circumstances to a new set of circumstances, and that transition isn't always easy, but sometimes it's necessary. And if you've been delaying on doing that, something may sort of hit a peak point during this week where you're like, okay, I have to confront this now. So that's what this card could be talking to. All right. Okay. Well, that's the end of the Astro Tarot for this week. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and please feel free to share this video with friends so they can also get their reading for this week. But I will see you next time, and yeah, enjoy the week. Thank you so much. Bye bye.